shots that he's accustomed to making. And I said, don't allow your offense to dictate your game. Find a way to get your defense into the game and then build off of that. And obviously for him to go out there and get 37, 10 and 5 and score 23 in the fourth quarter was just a tremendous boost for us. And I challenged our guys to start the fourth. This has to be our best fourth quarter defense. And we started off 20-5 and built a great lead. The crowd was phenomenal. Huge shout out to our fans for continuing to make Ball Arena just a hell of a home court advantage. We really appreciate that. But, this was a war. Both these games, man, they feel like they're 5 hours long. We won the rebounding battle once again. And a lot of guys stepped up and made big plays. And, Joker, for those that don't know him, he's got 13 playoff triple-doubles now. It's just incredible what he continues to do on a nightly basis on the biggest stage in the world. And I thought Bruce Brown off the bench was outstanding as well. Give Michael Porter credit, 16 and 7, made some big shots when they, that 10-0 run in that third quarter was a big 10-0 run. Kind of got us back into the game and gave us some momentum and brought that crowd back in. So we did what we were supposed to do. We protected our home court, and now we have to go to L.A. with a very businessman-like mindset.
Michael, after that first half, the foul trouble, the missed shots, for you guys to keep it together, the determination that took, what did this war, as you put it, show you and kind of tell you about the team that you have?
Well, I thought David Adelman made a great point today. And he talked about how we won game one, scoring 132 points. And you go back to game two against Phoenix, we won that game scoring 97. In the playoffs, you're going to have to find a way to win different types of games. This wasn't the shootout that game one was. And when you're not making shots, Harrison, as you know, that's where it's imperative for you to get stops. And the one thing we did a poor job of in the first half was fouling. They lived at the foul line. I think they had 16 free throw attempts to go along with 10 points off our 7 turnovers. But overall, I thought our defense was excellent throughout. And it's going to need to be even that much better to go and try to win a game in L.A. for Game 3.
Hey, Michael, after seeing Jamal miss more than a year, what's it like seeing him have a postseason like this?
Oh, it's so rewarding. It's this is not just coach and player. That's a foul right there. I called it. It might be a flagrant. We're going to send it in for review. But I love Jamal Murray. This is not just like I'm coaching him. We've been together for 7 years and been through a lot of ups and downs. And to see him back playing at the level he's playing at, the first thought for me is just tremendous pride and just so happy for him because I saw the dark days coming back from the ACL. So for him to be here playing at the level that he's playing at is just I'm just so happy for the man, the young man. And he needs to continue to do that. Obviously our goal is not done. We have to win this series, and our goal is to win a championship, and he's going to be a big part of that.
Michael, for all the talk about Jamal's offense, he had 4 steals tonight, and I think the last one was a lob that he batted
Big
away.
play, yeah.
Leads to the Michael Porter Jr. 3 that puts you up 12. How impressive is it to you that even when he's off to a slow start offensively, that he still appears to be engaged on the defensive end?
Well, he was one of our defensive players of the game, to your point, Vinny. 10 boards. He had 13 contested shots tonight. He had 4 steals. But that's what you have to do. There are going to be nights or quarters for Jamal. It could be a quarter, it could be a half, it could be 3 quarters where your shot's not going. But in the playoffs, you can't be a specialist. Specialists don't play in the playoffs. You got to find a way to impact the game. And he did that tonight. And he understands that. And, we all know one thing about Jamal, man. He just has to see one go in. He got a little mid-range pull-up to go in, kind of looked up to the heavens, and that's all he needs. And after that, he's shooting into a hula hoop. So I'm proud of him. But that's the challenge. My challenge to Jamal is don't be just a scorer. He's going to be an all-star in this league. And for him to do that, it's got to be scoring, playmaking, rebounding, defending every single night. And he has that within him.
Well, Jamal had said that he had an ear infection on Saturday. What was he able to do, if at all, last weekend?
He hasn't been able to do a whole lot. It's funny. One of the coaches said, when's the last time you heard of a grown-ass man have an ear infection? Usually that's kids in kindergarten, whatever. But we had a sickness going through the team. And for him to Game 6, Game 1, and Game 2 with the illness that he's had and not having been able to really practice and go through his routine just speaks volumes of how much of a gamer that he is.
When you're able to get Nikola doing his triple-double thing, but then you have Jamal as the finisher What does that do for this team? How far can you guys go with that?
Well, that's the key to it. Like, one man can't win a championship. I mean, I was with LeBron for 5 years in Cleveland. We got close, but you need help. And Nikola has help. And the biggest key, as you know, is that we're healthy this year. The last 2 postseasons, there was no Jamal Murray. Last year there was no Michael Porter. So Michael Porter, the level he's playing at, the level that Jamal's playing at, Aaron Gordon doing a lot of the dirty work, KCP playing his game, Bruce Brown off the bench has just been outstanding. So we know how great Nikola is, but every great player needs help. And to have a closer like Jamal is definitely something that we cherish.
Michael, even for those of us who have seen Joker play, I wonder if he'll ever have a bad game again. I mean, why is he able to be so consistent on the big stage?
Great question. And that's one of the things, as you know, kids, that I always talk about and marvel at is just his consistent greatness. You know what I mean? And the only thing I can say is that if you want to be consistently great, you have to put in consistent work. And Nikola doesn't skip steps. Like, I really wish you guys, there was a behind-the-curtain look into Nikola Jokic's off-day routine, pre-practice routine, post-practice, how he takes care of his body, how he lifts after games. There's no secret. I mean, same thing with LeBron. How is LeBron doing what he's doing at 38 years old? It's not because he's just an athletic marvel. It's because of the time and commitment and discipline he puts into his craft, his body and his game. And Nikola's no different. And I think that, to me, is the key reason why he is just consistently great. And to your point, you're hard-pressed to ever think about Nikola Jokic having a bad game. It's, and I don't want to see any of those coming up.
You're a bit feisty yourself.
No, I'm not. I'm a lover, not a fighter, man.
Do you think this team's feeding off, it's old school maybe, but right, cliche, a chip on the shoulder or not?
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, I hope so. It's whatever we can use for motivation. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of our guys, to be honest, they may not admit this or not. You win game 1 of the playoffs, and all everybody talked about was the Lakers. Let's be honest. That was a national narrative was, hey, the Lakers are fine. They're down 1-0, but they figured something out. No one talked about Nikola just had a historic performance. He's got 13 triple-doubles now, 3rd all-time. What he's doing is just incredible, but the narrative wasn't about the Nuggets. The narrative wasn't about Nikola. The narrative is about the Lakers and their adjustments. So, you put that in your pipe, you smoke it, and you come back, and you know what? We're going to go up 2-0.
Do you think that narrative changes tonight?
Well, I don't care if it does. You know what I mean? Because we know our narrative in that locker room. We know that we're not done. We haven't done anything yet. All right, you got to win a game on the other team's home court if you really want to do something in the series. And we know how great that team is, especially on their home court. So we're not celebrating. This is not cause for celebration. This is a cause to continue to dig deep and find ways to be better.
42 minutes for Nikola and Jamal, and thinking of the intensity of the game. And we know it's Western Conference Finals, but in the following games, is there anything we expect to see in terms of minutes they play?
Yeah, maybe 44. No, I mean, whatever the game takes. Tonight I did something that I haven't done in the playoffs. To start the 4th quarter, I kept Nikola in. And the reason I did that was to start that 2nd quarter. I think it was a 10-0 run for the Lakers, and had Nikola and Jamal on the bench at the same time. And that was a mistake. We can't do that. But with long TV timeouts, these national TV games, Nikola's like Secretariat, man. That guy can run for days.
Coach, this group hasn't been on the road in the Western Conference Finals. It was during the bubble, so that was kind of different. What's the message now as they go into a hostile environment in the conference finals atmosphere? The same as it was against Minnesota, the same as it was against Phoenix. We're not celebrating. We haven't done anything. We're not satisfied. Our mindset is we're going to win Game 3. We're not trying to worry about Game 4 yet. Take it one game at a time. And, we know that we're going to have to go into a hostile environment, as you mentioned. And to do that, we got to stay together. We can't beat ourselves, and our defense has to travel. If our defense travels, we'll give ourselves a chance. Thank you, everybody.
think going into the fourth quarter, you were 5 of 17. What is the mindset that you need to have to erupt for a 23-point quarter after, just struggling throughout the first three?
I mean, for those who have seen me play before, I normally like to, off a shooting half like that, I normally like to reset, just kind of come back down, reset my mind, quick little meditation in my head, and just come back out focused. I missed my first couple coming out. I were just really good looks, and, the game would have been a lot easier if I made them in the first half, So just come out focused and knock them down. Don't lose any confidence or anything like that. Just play my game and know that they're going to fall if I keep shooting them.
Can you describe the zone you were in the fourth quarter? 23, 4 3-pointers, and then obviously those 2 threes, AD and LeBron.
Yeah, once I see a couple go in, I can get it rolling. So I was able to just find a little separation and just rise up over the top and make some shots. I thought Mike played great, making shots. Bruce, I think everybody, it wasn't really an offensive game for most of the game, but on defense, everybody stepped up and made big plays. Jeff came in with a big charge. I can go down the line, but everybody had a moment in the game defensively.
Jamal, we've heard teammates say that you've come back from the injury a more complete player, a better playmaker. Tonight, I think you flashed a little bit on the defensive end. Can you take me through that last steal? Looked like a lob pass they were throwing up, and you swatted it out, and it ended up in MPJ's 3 that put you guys up 12?
You're talking about the weak side, right? Yeah. I just saw LeBron trying to move him up the lane, and I knew that if I could get there if I went for it. If I didn't, trying to find another word for half-ass it, but I just had to go for it and just jump for it, and just I know if I get a hand on the ball, my teammates will be able to grab it. So I just hit it out the air and was able to go down the other way.
Jamal, this series looks and feels exhausting just watching it, and in that fourth quarter, you had 2 steals. You're pushing the pace up the floor. You're dealing with this illness. Like, what does it take to find that energy in a moment like that after how physical the series is?
Yeah, and we in Denver. Air's thin out here. But it's just grit and grind. You don't want to lose a game. You try to leave it all out there, and you don't want to regret it when you go back home. I could have just ran a little harder to the corner and give somebody open shot. I could have, like I said, jump for the ball and get a steal. So it was just mentally making that switch and committing to it, and it'll pay off if you put out the hard work. So I think Joker was exhausted too. We all were tired, and but we gutted it out, and we know that they were tired as well. We play in Denver a lot, and they don't as much. So we know down the stretch, even if we're tired, they'll be just as tired or even more.
Coach said he thinks you only need to see one go in before you can get going. And after you made that mid-range jumper, you kind of looked to the heavens like, thank goodness I finally got one to go. And then he said it looks like you're shooting into a hula hoop at that point. What does it feel like for you? Is that an accurate assessment?
Yeah, it just becomes a practice shot. Whatever shot you take. I practice all the shots that you see me make and take. So, you could be shooting in a spot, in practice, and you miss 4, 5, 6 in a row, and then all of a sudden you just lock in and you take a step back, you reset, you refocus, and you go back and make 10 in a row like it's nothing. So it's just about resetting your mind. It's all mental, in my opinion, and I was able to do that again tonight.
Jamal, after game 1, everyone was talking about how the Lakers made that great run. They had all the momentum coming in, and everyone was talking about the Lakers as if they were the ones that won game 1. As players, hearing that and seeing how people are still learning about you guys as a team, how much did that motivate you guys? How much extra motivation did it give you?
You try not to look into it. People are going to talk. People are going to have their assumptions and what they should do and, the adjustments they should make. If they see something working, they're going to adjust, and we're going to adjust as well. It's a series. We're going to go back and forth. We're going to make adjustments next game. We're going to watch film and change stuff up, so they're going to do the same. So game to game is different. I remember we were playing Phoenix, and Coach said in the locker room, one game was 1-something, and then the other one was 97-87, so every game is going to be a little different. You just got to commit to it. And if it's a defense game, then you got to lock down and play defense, make timely shots. And, the outside noise is the outside noise. We're the Denver Nuggets. We're used to that. We used to, even when we win, they talk about the other team. We beat the Clippers in the bubble. They talk about the other team. Same same old, same old. It just fuels us a little more, and it'll be sweeter when we win the chip.
Jamal, you talked about the playoffs being the time where guys step up. You have 4 fourth quarters of 20-plus points in the playoffs. That's the most since 1997. Second place is Michael Jordan and Allen Iverson with 2. What is it about the fourth quarter that you love?
When I was little, I used to, count down the seconds of the shot clock and make the shot and talk like Marv Albert and talk like Mike Green, you know what I'm saying? Just the imagination running as a kid. So, when you get in that moment and, you see your fam in the crowd, you see your little brother, you see Mike Green there, you see all these little reminders. They all pay dividends and make that moment a little more special and just kind of lock you back in. You want to miss that opportunity. And sometimes it's just reflecting on those moments and remembering how fun it was to do that and be able to not miss the stage. Playing the Western Conference Finals against the Lakers and LeBron James is an amazing opportunity, and it's something you can look back in history and remember for the rest of your life. So I just try to make the most of them, and it's fun when you got to go in like that in the fourth.
When you hit that 3 over LeBron, they call timeout. You wave your hands out to what are you thinking? Because I saw you look into the crowd. You hear the crowd roaring. What was going through your head?
Just like I got it. Like I found the rhythm I needed to find. I think when I hit the 3 on the right wing was a good shot, and then the 3 on AD was the one where I was like, okay, I found the mark, I found the target, and just kept finding it.
Well, you've alluded before about meditation. When you meditate and reset and lock in, what is going through your mind at halftime when you're just trying to maybe I don't want to put words in your mouth, but maybe decompress?
It depends on what's happening. Sometimes I need to settle the hell down. Sometimes I need to ramp myself up, so it just depends on what's needed in the game. And tonight I just had to just reset completely. The first half, the second half 3 that I had, the open one, the wide open one, I alligator armed it. Now that just shows me that I'm overthinking it, and there's no reason for me to overthink an open shot. So once I missed that one, and I came up short in the mid range, I said, okay, I gotta settle down even more. I'm overthinking about the shot too much. So it's all mental practice, man. I've been, having bad halves and then a crazy second half for the rest of my life. So I know how to change it. I know what to adjust. And I want to put together a good 4 quarters.
Jamal, I think it was game 1 of the Minnesota series. You hit a 3. I think you turned to the crowd and said something like, we're ready for this. We've been waiting for this. Tonight, was this an example of just like you guys being ready for the moment, especially with how that first half went and just kind of the determination and mental toughness that you needed to battle back? Was this just an example of you guys kind of being ready for the moment here in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think even when we're struggling, like we don't lose belief in what we can do. We play like the number 1 seed and we believe we're the number 1 seed, and we back it up. So even when we're struggling, we're a resilient team. We know how to, like I said, adjust and just reset and focus. And we get a couple stops. I think Kay hit a big 3 and they called timeout. So, yeah, sometimes just a couple of possessions that can change the whole game, and it's just an energy thing, I thought we had a lot of belief in our ability to rally tonight and get the dub.
Jamal, I feel like when you have a great performance, people always recall you in the bubble. But you are only 26. You are still writing your story. I feel like maybe people should not always recall the past because you are still doing it right now. What is it for you? But do you think like the past performance gives you energy and you recall it as much?
Yeah, I mean, the bubble was, 2020? And it's 2023. So, I mean, I'm coming off injury and I'm playing decent. So, I think the years speak for itself, coming off injury and be able to, come back to the level at least and play this way. I think I don't really need to comment on it as much anymore.
Thank you, Jamal.
Appreciate it.
Had 23 in the fourth quarter. He had struggled the prior 3 quarters. I think only just 5 of 17 leading into the fourth quarter. What did you see from him? How locked in was he?
Yeah, he's had a few games like that this year where he struggles in the first half and then just goes crazy in the second half. And I think that that just takes a maturity as a player. And I feel like all the best players in the league do that, you know what I mean? Because, it only takes a couple shots going in to get a rhythm, and he knows we need him to make shots down the stretch to win games. So I was proud of him for sticking with it.
Mike, after turning down a three and driving, it looked like your teammates were telling you to just shoot the ball. Then you hit that three in the corner, that big shot. When your teammates say that stuff to you, do you register it? Are you interested in that feedback?
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in it. Like, they want me to shoot it, I'll shoot it. I mean, I felt like they closed out pretty well, and it was going to be a contested shot. But at the end of the day, I could shoot over most people. So when they tell me just catch and shoot it, that definitely gave me confidence to just shoot some of those shots down the stretch.
Mike, I think you were at just 19 minutes played entering the fourth. You come back in to start the quarter. What's just kind of your mentality? What are you thinking heading into the fourth when you got a lot in the tank there?
Yeah, I think same thing that most of our team has is just resilience. You know what I mean? It might not go our way the first half for certain quarters, but we're all going to be needed down the stretch. One person can't beat this team; they're too good. So I just had to, refocus and hit a couple big ones down the stretch.
Michael, when you know that the game is going to be more of a defensive-minded game versus an offensive-minded game like it was in Game 1, how does that change your approach, or does it change your approach at all, just going from game to game in a series like this?
Yeah, no, we talked about it before the game. I think the first game against Phoenix, it was a high-scoring game, and then the second game, I think it was like 97 to 87, something like that. So we talked about that before the game, and we knew, like, game to game in the playoffs, it can be completely different. So we knew that, and then you just got to adjust to the feel of the game and how it's going.
Because of the NBA bubble, this core hasn't been on the road in the conference finals. So what do you kind of expect out of that atmosphere? What's kind of be the message to when you guys go to
I think
LA?
it's definitely going to be hostile there. You know, they still feel like they're in this series. Obviously, it's the first of four. It's not the first of two. So they're not going to just roll over. And now they're back in LA, so they're looking to get 2 wins back home. So we're going to look back on that Phoenix series, when they tied it up in Phoenix, and we're going to try to not let that happen in LA, but it's going to take a lot of focus, and our defense is going to have to carry over into LA for sure.
Michael, are you surprised that some people around the country claim they're just discovering the Nuggets for the first time, including Jokic and I guess all you guys?
I mean, I think that's probably how it is with most small market teams. And then this stage is just so different. You know what I mean? This is a huge stage. A lot of people are probably watching these games that don't normally watch NBA. So we don't really let that get to us. I mean, like I said before, we got a lot of dudes who aren't really big into the social media thing or the, feeding into that, which I think that plays to our advantage, being the type of small market team that we are. So I don't think we mind that at all.
Would you like to say anything to people who are just figuring out who you are?
No, I don't really care.
We always talk about the way Nikola is offensively, but tonight I know it takes all 5 to defend a guy like Anthony Davis, but to hold him to 4 of 15 from the field, what can you say about Joker's defensive impact?
Yeah, he got the defensive player of the game chain, and he deserves it. AD's one of the hardest dudes to stop, and Jokic was playing him one-on-one a lot of the game, so it was a huge effort from him. If AD had a game like he had last game, we wouldn't have won that game, so Nikola definitely stepped up on that end. All right.
Sorry, Nick. That defensive possession with AD at the end, were you able to strip that, or could you take me through that possession?
Yeah, he kind of had it on a fast break and had me in a one-on-one situation on the break. So I just had to wall up and not let him get anything easy, but also not foul him. And then I think he tried to pass it out or something. I don't think I stripped it. He might have just lost it, but that definitely was a big play for us.
you've always said Jamal's a leader. Jamal's a superstar. You've always kind of been his biggest champion. How would you describe what you saw him do tonight?
He was special. He was special, and he won us the game. He scored 20-something in the fourth quarter. He got us the lead, his energy. He played 40-something, 42 minutes. So, I think he was amazing. Yes, maybe in the first half he struggled to make shots, but when it mattered the most, he made shots, and he won us the game, basically.
Hey, Nikola. Michael Malone said, obviously, after Game 1, even though you guys won, everybody was talking about the Lakers and not you guys and not your historic performance or, the fact that you're averaging your triple-doubles. What has been your perspective on all of that?
This is the last, since we make playoffs, it's like that, so it's nothing new for us. To be honest, I like it. We don't care, whatever, Even if you remember, even in the bubble, when we beat Utah, they were talking how they blow out the lead. When we beat Clippers, how they blow out the lead. Nobody talk about how we won the game. So it's normal for us. We don't. I don't, to be honest, pay attention at all. Thank you, Cody.
Talk about what Bruce did tonight off the bench a little bit.
Yeah, not just tonight. He made big three in transition. It was 4-on-3 or 5-on-4 or something. He made a big three in transition. His defense, his energy. It's not just today. He is doing that the whole since he came here the whole year. So. He's always he can pick up the guys. He can guard multiple positions. Even maybe he's smaller, but he's tough. He's fighting. So it's good to have him on our team.
Nikola, rumor has it you got the defensive player of the game chain tonight, and what was working that you were doing on Anthony Davis and challenging his shots?
To be honest, it's not just me. I have a backup behind me, and I have a guy who is right next to me. So it's not just my defensive chain. It's supposed to go to everybody. I think our defense, especially in the fourth quarter, completely two different games. We scored both 100 points. Last game was 130 points. So. It was kind of a little bit ugly game, if that makes any sense. But it's not just me; it's everybody.
Nikola, hi.
Hello.
Do you believe that to be a great competitor, you need to go through the greatest competitors? And what do you think of the Lakers' performance tonight?
Oh, yeah, I think they're a great team. I think everybody is kind of. Okay, they beat Memphis. I think people are overlooking them. I think they're a great team. They have a lot of good pieces. They're tall as a team. Okay, they have Reeves or D'Angelo Schroeder, but they're big, tall. They are long in gaps. They can rebound really well. They have a really nice. Rui is playing really nice for them off the bench, so I think they have a good team and they're great. How do you say competitors? Competitors, yes. They have a LeBron who is probably the greatest competitor in the league.
Nikola, what was tonight like in terms of you guys had some early foul trouble with some guys? Some of the lineup stuff was unusual. You started the fourth quarter. Did that just sort of throw off the balance of anything? How did you guys kind of fight through all that tonight?
I think it's a play. It was a must-win game for us. It's a playoffs. Coach looked at me and I said I was ready to go. There was a big break between third quarter and fourth quarter. It's basically like 8 minutes or 10 minutes break. So I kind of felt that I can go a little bit longer, you're just trying something, just to change rhythm, change whatever. Maybe they're gonna think, oh, what they're gonna do now. So you're just trying to mess up the game.
Nikola, as you guys go to LA now, what's the message? Because this core really hasn't been at a conference finals on the road before. That was, was in the bubble, so it's a little different. What's the message now?
I mean, we're gonna go there, try to play the same way, try to be aggressor, try to push them off the spots, try to be into the body. I mean, we're gonna try to make the game our way. Yes, we go to the foul trouble early, but yeah, that's how we played. I think that the beginning of the playoffs, So I think that's how the playoffs should play. So. We will see.
Nikola, obviously your humility is very well known, but if I may follow up on what you said earlier, why do you like it that the attention or the narrative is not around you guys?
I mean, we don't need it. I mean, we are really, we don't need the media attention. We don't need they're playing really well. I mean, we don't need that. We're going to go there and try to win game, and we're going to be quiet. We're going to not talk about it. Maybe some guys will, but I think in general we don't need talking trash. We don't need that.
Is there anything anybody should know about you that doesn't know something?
I don't know.
Last one, Katie. Please raise your hand if you have a question and get the mic. Last one, Katie.
Nikola.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta step up and raise your voice.
Similarly to the Phoenix series, you mentioned this game was much different than game one and the way you guys won. How much confidence do you have in your team that you can win in a variety of different ways and find a way to get it done?
Yes, I mean, I think it was the same. The first game was like against Phoenix was a lot of points, and then second was 80-something, 90-something, So we are confident, we saw everything. We were in every situation. During this what's the name? This playoffs and this season. Then when you think about last couple playoffs, we've been through a lot of situations, and I think we're really calm, and we know how to get the shots that we want.
Thank you, Nikola.
Oh, thank you.